Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm here today to do a surprise giveaway. I just want to really say thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I really cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of your support. I'm literally overwhelmed. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. And also to those people who have placed orders with my Etsy shop. Again, I really appreciate it, and super grateful, so thank you very much. So I've put together a little surprise giveaway here, and what I'm going to do, when I did my last giveaway, I did literally I advertised the giveaway for a couple of weeks, and it was kind of a case of subscribe to my channel and make a comment below to be entered into the giveaway. And I felt that that was, in hindsight, and obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing, not necessarily kind of fair to people who had subscribed previously, because, having watched now more subscriber giveaway videos to get ideas of how others do it, obviously, some people subscribe to your channel kind of, for the purposes of the giveaway, and they might not really kind of be even that interested in crafting or, journals or anything else. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone or anything else. And, I'm more than happy with the way it went and everything else. But also I felt slightly uncomfortable, I suppose, with kind of, it felt like I was asking everyone to kind of compliment my work, and I wasn't meaning that when I was asking for the comments. I just meant, oh, please enter me, so I thought I'm going to try and not do that for this one. I did see, I think her name's Jibbid. She did one where she wanted people to put in the comments ideas of what they would like to see in a journal. And, I loved that idea. I thought that was really great, and also really would be interested to hear what people's ideas are, what they would like to see as themes for a journal. So, by all means, comment below, saying ideas that you would like to see, because, that sounds great. But I watched a giveaway the other day. It was a surprise giveaway. Actually, now it's completely escaped me who it actually was who did it. Which is really annoying, but they literally took their last X amount of videos and they printed off all the comments from those last, say, 10 videos, and then they did their giveaway based on those comments. So it was kind of the people who'd been regular viewers and obviously had taken the time to kind of make comments and things, and that's, again, not taking anything away from those people who have subscribed and do watch and obviously don't make a comment, because, I'm very guilty of that, and, very rarely kind of put comments, and it's not because I'm disinterested or anything. But, often kind of I'm busy kind of going on to the next video, that then it's gone before I get a chance to comment. Or sometimes I'm kind of watching it while I'm doing other things, so my hands aren't actually free to be able to type a comment. I'm often doing it when, if I'm on my cross trainer or something like that, I'm kind of watching these. So obviously I'm not in a position where I can really be typing a comment. I can just about hold on to the machine and obviously watch the video. So, there's that kind of thing. So I'm not in any way detracting from those people who do subscribe or have subscribed and do watch. So please don't be too offended, but it's very hard to get it just right. So I've really waffled on now. So what I did was I took my last 14 videos and I've printed off all the comments. So again, what this person who I'd watched had done was, obviously, if people had commented more than once, they obviously included them more than once. So, I mean, if you've commented 6 times, you will have 6 entries, so 6 numbers. So what I did, I took all of the comments from the last 14 videos, and it was just that happened to be how they were lined up on the screen, so it was kind of neat for me to be able to kind of do that. And then I've put them into a Word document and printed them off. They're actually going in what do you call that, like reverse order. So this was kind of the 14th video at the top, so i.e. number 1 was the 14th video, going right down to literally kind of my most recent video as the bottom one. And then I have numbered all the entries, so I think I just said, but it's going up to 111 on here. And obviously, you know, many of you have got more than one entry because you've made more than one comment, so thank you very much. So before I get started obviously doing the draw, I will show you what the goodies are. So I have made a small journal using images from this gorgeous vintage book. It was called The Pond Fairies. I couldn't find a date in it, but I mean, as you can see, it was pretty old, pretty vintage. I don't know whether this is anything to do with the flower fairies, but it was super cute images, and yeah, just thought I'm going to utilize that. So that's what I've used as my kind of inspiration point. And I've made this little journal, which is just literally held kind of bound with this Grosgain kind of ribbon that I think this came off of some chocolates, if I recall. So I was quite lucky because it was already stitched with a kind of piece of elastic trim. And it just happened that it just fitted perfectly with the journal and just went perfectly with the colours that I went with. So this is kind of made from like scrapbook paper, and then what I've done is on the outside cover I have covered the whole thing in this really gorgeous fabric with a strawberry kind of print on it with some flowers, and then I've layered up that's just been glued on, and then I've layered up a little bit of kind of linen-y type fabric that I've stitched around on the sewing machine, some more of the strawberry kind of fabric. And then I've just put some lace here and here and some more lace down here. I stuck on all the different elements, and then I did just a fabric ruffle again in the strawberry fabric. And then I made these gorgeous two toadstools. One is stitched onto hessian and one is stitched onto kind of denim. And the whole lot has been coffee stained, so, you know, including the toadstools. So it's all been coffee stained. And then I just took the bit that was actually kind of falling off from the spine that said the Pond Fairies. In fact, it was hanging off so much it was actually kind of split, so I've had to glue it in two parts here. And then I've just glossy accented that across there, so the Pond Fairies there. And then I've just put some lace trim down the spine, and then on the back I just did very similar. So again, it's got the glued strawberry kind of fabric, and then layered it up with just that centre panel and another strawberry ruffle, but other than that it's kind of plain. It hasn't got the toadstools or anything. And this fabric, meant to say, super cute, because it was actually one of my daughter's dresses. Again, I've used her dresses a couple of times now, and this was one that she'd had last summer, I think it was, and it was just so pretty. So this hasn't been coffee dyed, so you can kind of see the difference there, but just thought it was so gorgeous, and obviously it doesn't fit her anymore, so I thought I'm gonna use that in a journal. So that's what's on the cover. So going inside of the book, I basically fussy cut all of these gorgeous roses from some more scrapbook paper, and I've used them with the images from the kind of vintage book. So I just thought that they kind of looked really good against this gorgeous kind of very vintagey paper. So on the inside of the front cover, I've got a sheet of music paper, I've got a fussy cut rose and a doily, and then here, tied with string, with my obsession with tying, I've just created a little booklet here, just with some manila folder, and then one of the kind of inside blank pages from a different vintage book, and it's just kind of there. So you've got kind of space for journaling then on obviously the sides of the paper and the inside itself of the booklet. And this was one of the images from the Pond Fairies book, so I won't tie that up. And then here I've taken a page from the Pond Fairies book. I mean, obviously these are very vintage, so they're quite marked. I didn't have to coffee stain these or anything. All of the marks were genuinely how the book came. So here, raindrops, just really gorgeous. And I've just made it a kind of tuck spot kind of here. So I've just put this tag with some doily and rose, and this was just a cover from another kind of vintage book. And I've just actually stitched this onto, I think this was kind of brown paper bag actually, so it's kind of not too thick and bulky. That's that. And there's a bit of lace at the top. And then going over the page, I've just got this beautiful coloured paper with lots of fussy cut roses there and a little journaling spot. I've got a little ruffle from some sewing pattern paper that I've stitched on the sewing machine and glued down. And then there's just a pocket here, which I've just popped in some paper here from, oh no, it's glued in, stuck in there. Just put some paper in, again, from an inside page of a book. So a bit more journaling space there. And then you've just got a doily here on the page. That just goes in like that. And then I've just got an odd size kind of page here. So that just has got just literally a couple of roses there, which actually, if I recall, I think they also were a tuck spot. So you could kind of tuck something else behind there if you wanted. So that's those. Again, just love the look of those roses against that colour of that paper. Just think they look really stunning. And it's all been coffee dyed and distress inked as well. So, you know, that's what's happened to those. So then on the other side, I've just got here another fussy cut rose, piece of lace and a bit of journaling space here. And this was a label gifted to me by Laura. So thank you, Laura. That's in there. And then on this one, I have got just an old paper clip with a bit of lace, and that's holding in just a page basically from the Pond Fairies book, which I thought kind of worked quite well as a little booklet, because obviously these are blank pages for journaling. And it's got these cute images and obviously more of the stories on the back. And then that was paper clipped onto this page. Here I've just got, I think I actually made that as a pocket, but I've not put anything actually in that one. So you've got another pocket here to put kind of some more, you know, ephemera or whatever down there. Got another lace, some more, another rose and some more lace. And then you've got just a fold down kind of flip here, just literally glued behind. So that stays up like that. And obviously it's held in place with the booklet that's just paper clipped on. So going over the page, there is here a belly band with some of this muslin-y linen fabric, which has just been coffee dyed, stitched on, distress inked, got some lace, the word treasured, another fussy cut rose and a little paper flower. Then you've got some doily behind and some vintage sheet music. And again, another one of those images from the book, which again has got some more of the story on there. So you've got kind of more journaling space here and down here. I just thought these pages were so gorgeous, to be honest, and because they had quite a lot of blank space, I thought they were just lovely for journaling cards as they are. And then on the next page, it's again some more of that beautiful coloured paper. Not really quite sure what colour I would describe this as, but it's really pretty, and this one kind of fades into the kind of more duck eggy blue kind of colour. And I've just stuck on an acetate stamped image here as a tuck spot, and that's just behind the rose, bit of lace trim at the top. And that was holding in another one of the pages from the book, which I have just stitched on the sewing machine, another couple of pages inside. So you've got quite a bit of journaling space in there. I popped a journaling spot on the front with a rose there. So yeah, quite a bit of journaling space there, and on the back it's plain as well. That just goes in, tucks in there. And then there was also behind there another, you know, image from the Pond Fairies book, which again, blank on the back for more journaling space. So, you know, they're quite good because actually you can take them out to journal on as well. So, you know, anywhere the book's a little bit lumpy, it's not too much of a problem because you're obviously taking a lot of them out to journal. Here I've got another image from the book, really cute one here. Obviously the fairies going down to the bottom of the pond with tadpoles. Bit of lace trim, a few roses, a nice heart, and that's just been stapled onto this sewing pattern paper. And then inside the pocket, it's just a fold out flip there with just a fussy cut rose on the front. That just goes in there. And then here I've just got a belly band with some sewing pattern ruffle, and this is just some of that ephemera that I bought a few weeks ago. It's the front page of a letter from 1930, And again, it's just a copy because obviously I'm trying to hang on to the originals, and they are quite smelly. So I've just literally photocopied this and then printed it off and coffee dyed it. And then I've just tucked it in behind here, obviously, for a bit more journaling space. And obviously the rest of the page is quite empty, so you could journal on there. And then going over the page, this is the centre of the signature. So you've got these couple of kind of more irregular sized pages. But on this side here, you've got a little top loading pocket. Sorry, it's hard to remember sometimes what you've done. A top loading pocket. So here you've got another image from the Pond Fairies book. Again, it's quite empty, so you can journal all around it. You've got a butterfly here, and then the top loading pocket, I've just put this sheet music with some decoupage napkin, backed it onto some buff coloured file folder, and just popped that in there because I thought it went quite nicely with the colours of the journal. And then on the irregular size pages here, these smaller ones, you've got just a little tuck spot with the rosebud, and then just a little tiny tag, which is just a literally stamped image there. And then opening it up, you've got another couple of images from the book, which I've just cut down. Just put some lace on here and a rosebud. This one just is, you know, left plain. So again, more journaling space kind of around the images. And then going over. On this one, you've got another fussy cut rose, which actually I think is another tuck spot here. And you've got a butterfly, the word amazing, and some vintage sheet music. So again, kind of more journaling space there. And then obviously you've just got the, you know, the strings from the centre of the signature. And then here on this one, you've got an image from the Pond Fairies book, which actually this is how it was in the book, where it kind of was attached to the page but lifts. I don't know whether it was always like that or whether it was originally kind of stuck down kind of all the way. I don't really know. But when I saw it, I thought, wow, that's perfect to leave like that, because actually then it's some secret journaling space and it's just covered with this cute image. And then you've got doily, piece of vintage sheet music, flower, and a rosebud here, and some lace trim at the top. And then going over the page, there's some sewing pattern paper stitched in a ruffle, and then one of those little tuck spots that I quite like doing from the tiny weeny envelopes. And what I've done is obviously folded it over to create the pocket, and I've stitched on an image from the Pond Fairies book. But I've stitched that on there. And then I've put a rosebud behind it and a hot air balloon image here. And that's an acetate one, which I've stuck down, and some lace trim. And then here, a little kind of verse from the book, which I just put it up for you to be able to read rather than bore you all. But, you know, if you wanted to read it, you can. But it just sounded so pretty that I just thought it sounds lovely. So I left that there. And then obviously you've got a bit more journaling here, and tucked into there was just literally an envelope. And I think these were some free envelopes that I'd got from Pinterest a while ago. So that just tucks in, and I thought that went really nicely, obviously again with the rosebuds. And then on the next page, I've got here some fussy cut roses, doily, a layered up butterfly here, which is acting as a kind of, you know, to hold this down. And this is just a tuck spot here, a page from the book acting as a tuck spot, where I've just popped in a little kind of flip kind of booklet. And this is just kind of scraps of coffee dyed paper, and then I've just got a couple of printed ones here, which I thought went rather nicely. And obviously it's got some lace trim at the top, so that just tucks in behind there. And I tucked it in with that showing because I thought it was rather pretty, and obviously to hold it down, just kind of pop it behind the butterfly's wings. And then over the page, I've got just another fussy cut butterfly, and that's holding this shut, which is kind of then a booklet. So more journaling space here, and some lace trim down the side. So that just tucks in like that. And then that's also a pocket, which has just got another piece of the ephemera that I'd bought a few weeks ago. This was actually the back of a photograph of, I think it was a little boy. Weirdly, I'm not quite sure what happened to this. I did get it printed, you know, paid for it to be printed on a laser printer, which then normally is pretty, you know, quite, what's the word? You know, quite resilient when you coffee dye it. But for some reason, this one hasn't been. and it's really made the colour run quite a lot. But actually I thought it quite went with the kind of pond fairies theme, because it's actually quite, you know, the colours are merging into one another and looks quite pretty. And on the back it's actually gone even like a shade of a very pale pinky type colour, so I quite liked that. So I've just popped that in to the side like that. And then on the next page I've just got again another fussy cut rose. I've got another image from the book layered onto some sewing pattern paper, a bit of lace trim, and then another section from the book that there is just plain, obviously, for journaling. And then tucked in I've just got this was another photograph that I'd bought, obviously with the same batch of stuff. Again the back, and again the same kind of thing has happened with the coffee dye and has kind of made the colours run a bit, but that's in there. And then going over the page, again, this is a paper clip, an altered paper clip that was gifted to me by Laura, so thank you, Laura. And that's just holding on this little booklet, which again, I just took some pages from the book that happen to have quite a bit of blank space in them. Blank space along with what I think are quite pretty images. And I've just stitched it on the sewing machine to make literally a little booklet. And then I've just popped some lace over where I've stitched it. So that's that. And behind there was just literally a fussy cut rose and another image from the book, a bit of doily, and this kind of frame going around the page. That went in there. And then here I've just got, again, one of those regular size pages. Left here some journaling space, a little journaling spot here, fussy cut rose and a bit of lace. Going over the page, this is just a stamped image, which I thought went nicely, a fussy cut rose. Actually, this one also is again a tuck spot, so you could tuck something in there. So that's that. And then here I've got another one of those booklets which ties up. So again, another image from the Pond Fairies, and I've just literally stitched in a couple of blank sheets of paper, again from the inside of a book there. So again, you've got quite a bit of journaling space there. That just ties up, stamped image and a doily. And then going over the page, I've got here another image from the book, which again has got quite a bit of journaling space there. Some layered up images down here, some sewing pattern, and then here in the side I've just popped a cute tag which just layered up some images, and again thought that the colourway just went really nicely with this journal. And then I've held it together with a bulb pin and a little piece of lace hanging on the bulb pin. That just goes in that side bit there. And then on this page, this is the inside of the back cover. I have got one of those wage envelopes. Is it a wage envelope? No, it's not a wage envelope, sorry. Made that up. Another image from the book, which has been backed onto some buff colour file folder. Just stuck it down like a tuck spot. I've put a rose there and a journaling spot. And then it's got some vintage sheet music, another one of those frames from Laura, and a doily and a bit of lace. And then in there, this was actually one of the photos from the backs of the photos that I showed earlier. And this was a baby. The baby's actually become quite washed out with the coffee dye and where the colours have run, so you can't really see that clearly, but she is visible. I'm just not sure whether she is, obviously, or he, on the camera. So that's that. And again, obviously it's plain on the back for journaling. That just tucks in there. So that's the journal. I hope that you liked it and thought it was cute. I thought it was quite different, and loved using those beautiful images from that gorgeous Pond Fairies book. So that's the journal, and obviously I will also enclose the cover from the Pond Fairies. I don't know whether it would be of any use to whoever wins it, but I'll enclose that as well. And then also, as part of the giveaway, I've just done one of my ruffle sacks that I've recently put into my shop. And this, again, it's the same fabric. So from my daughter's dress, I've just tied it with twine. Again, like I said last time, I'm no seamstress. So, this bag is not perfect by any means. It's literally, it is a ruffle sack, literally, sack. just kind of stitched inside. So that's that. And inside I've just put a variety of ruffles. So I've got this seam binding ruffle here in this pale pink. And all the ruffles are of varying lengths, but obviously can just be cut down and then glued onto pages. So I've got the pale pink, and then also seam binding. I've got this kind of, I suppose, the sage kind of green colour. And then there was this length of this kind of organza type fabric. This was gifted to me by Laura. I have torn it, kind of, you know, cut it to start the tear and then torn it down the length of the fabric and made a ruffle from it. Obviously this is very, very prone to fraying. So whether or not you would have to go down it with, you know, some matches or a candle to kind of stop that, I'm not sure. But I thought probably once it was kind of glued onto a page, the fraying would become less of a kind of issue. So I've done that ruffle there, which is obviously a pretty long one. And then here I've got some of that, whoops, kind of linen-y type fabric. Again, just created a ruffle there. So, I mean, they're all pretty good lengths, so can just be cut down to whatever lengths that you fancy on your page. There's this one here, which is a teeny one, because this was kind of just the length of fabric that I happen to have. So that's that one. Then you've got a couple in the gorgeous fabric from the, you know, my daughter's dress in this cute strawberry fabric. So that's them. And again, I mean, like I said on the cover has been coffee dyed. So, you know, I know that this fabric coffee dyes pretty nicely. So, you know, you could coffee dye these. And then I've got these couple, which are in some fabric, which was gifted to me by Laura. And they're a beautiful pattern and, yeah, pretty vintage kind of looking. And you could probably coffee dye those. But to be honest, these ones don't really need it because they're, you know, they're quite a cream background anyway. So love those. And then here I've just got one of those cute floral ones that I've used recently in one of my kits. So there's that one as well. So I've lost count now of how many ruffles that there were, but you've got a variety there. So, you know, hopefully would kind of be usable and useful in kind of future projects, you know, to kind of enclose in a variety of journals. So, and they're just obviously tied up in the sack. So that's also obviously, you know, the prize. So I'll pop that to one side. I did kind of ask my, you know, family and kind of said, what do you think? Should I do kind of a first prize and a second prize? Or just one kind of bigger prize? And they all kind of said one bigger one. So I went with them. So, but let me know again what you think, ready for my next, you know, giveaway in the future. So what I've done is obviously, as I said before, sorry, I know this is now going on and getting pretty boring. I've got 111 here. So what I've done is typed in random number generator here on my iPad. And what I did last time was used it right here from the Google screen. I don't suppose it really matters which way you do it, but then I did notice you can just click on this random.org and you've got here a number generator to the side. So I'm going to give this one a try today. So, and it defaults to, it seems to have come in with 1 to 100. So I'm just going to change that one to 111. So hopefully you can see that. It says 1 to 111. And I'm going to hit generate. Whoops, sorry, I knocked the camera there. So I'm going to hit generate. And the result, if you can see that, is number 67. So if I have a look on my printout, here we go, number 67. And number 67, this is Unc Jamie 6. Now, I think Unc Jamie, sorry, but the 6 was from 6 days ago. Unc Jamie actually is Laura, I'm pretty sure. So, well done, Laura. I'm pretty sure that that's you, but if you can just confirm that that is. And obviously I will get this out in the post to you. So thank you very much, and thanks for watching. Congratulations to you, and yeah. my camera now flicked off, but thank goodness I had actually done the drawing and everything. So yeah, I was just literally saying thank you so much, and thanks for watching, and have a nice Easter weekend. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.